so sorry that's occurring. I didn't know that. That's terrible.
Yes, you're right, they do. So, I'm sorry, off track, I apologize, but I wanna just thank you for the help.
Okay, so we're back to, do we wait while the sewer project is being dug and extract that? Or do we do a Band-Aid repair?
Once the sewer system is in, and we have confirmed that everybody's tapped into the sewer system, I will be able to say with confidence there is no source of sewage to that pipe. At that point, you can eliminate it. It's blocked up and buried to start with, to Mr. Barna's point, filled full of concrete. The other option is we extend it to the creek. The third option of tying in a PennDOT system, I don't think we'd ever get that approved. Maybe, but it would be like beating your head against the wall to do so. So I think those are the two options. But I really don't know what to do in the meantime. I don't have any good option other than Mr. Lawson said get the sewers in next week. And we need to get those in as soon as possible. Well, if the couple things in motion, I need Sarah Boyce to speak to that because she's leading the charge on this. We've got public workshop coming up here in a couple weeks. So we've got, hopefully we can get this out for bids, receive bids by the end of, I guess it's the end of October now. That's about as fast as we can move on that. We've still got to get the service agreement with Peters Creek on how we handle this.
So, but here's one thing, and I want to hear from the Barnas. If this was me, I would want that pipe, I would want it either flushed out and cleaned out. Knowing what's in there, it would be very difficult. I'm so sorry you've been living like this. I can't say it enough to you. Knowing it's in there, I would want it either flushed out and removed, because I know you still smell it. So either that, or during the process of installation of the sewers, take care of it then. Is there any way, this may sound silly, to jet jack that and put it into some kind of a catch thing, take it away, like a hazardous waste type of situation?
One end of, we don't know where the other end is.
Couldn't we poke a hole, maybe just walk up a couple hundred yards and?
It's gonna be a wild goose chase. The trouble is, based on the fact that there's water coming out of that pipe, that means something's draining to it. It could be roof drains, it could be floor drains, it could be foundation drains, it could just be groundwater in springs, I don't know. But to eliminate it, just fill it full of concrete, put it back the way it was, we're now obstructing all of that drainage.
You would fill the entire length concrete?
Just where we found it. Okay.
But to get it back, then that's gonna back up.
It's gonna back up, right? Now, there's a couple things. This is not a public pipe. It's not a township pipe. It is entirely a private property thing that we happened to find while we tried to fix a public issue, which was the nuisance sewage condition.
If we talk, and this would be a Gary's question, if we somehow try to work with the residents on that road to say, there's a human health concern here, we want to mitigate it, we want to find out how we can mitigate it, will you participate with us? Could that be a possibility of having, when we have the public workshop on October 4th, and I hate to even wait that long, but it's only really little over 2 or 3 weeks away, that we have that open discussion to see if possibly we can get easements from residents to, say, hey, can we go, we just want to fix it at this point. Would you help us help you? I'm sure people smell that all the way up the road.
I think a big thing, just from my talking with the neighborhood, they would, the people we need to approach going up the road, they would all need to know that it's not going to be any cost to them and nothing's going to come back to them depending what we end up finding.
Well, aside from the actual sewer installation, the tapping fees, this is something to me that I think we need to figure out and address it. It's terrible.
Hey, Rick, Jamie, would you pipe that to the creek?
I think
Junction box and pipe to the creek?
I think that's the best option, other than.
Then we should just get a junction box and dig your driveway up again and go through it and put a big pipe.
That's the worst of it, taking the driveway up.
If you're saying you can put it in the creek, I still think we should put it in the storm sewer.
After the sewers are in.
the worst part about that, I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, bury the hell out of it, get out of the light, but as I can attest from last Thursday when we got the storm, or any time that thing overflowed, which was a lot, you know, the tank fills up quick, which sucks because I know it's costing money. But every time that tank's overflowing, I can smell it. Rainwater or not, I'm back to, it's not in my driveway, it's in front of my house now, it stinks. And if we divert that into the drain, or the stream, it's just gonna be all over again. It's gonna be that hot, humid day where I smell it all over again, you know?
I
To
agree.
Jamie, he's talking about after everyone's connected to the sewer, so all the sewage should be eliminated by that.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, and you know,
I think there's.
6 months or further from now, once every single person's connected and it's just storm water in that pipe.
No, that makes sense. It does, I don't even think you need to dig it out. That, whatever existing PennDOT storm sewer that's there is either not working or this is catching it first. You could probably just repair the existing PennDOT, you reroute whatever you find when you start putting in the sewage stuff. Cause you're gonna have to go right through that anyway to get to it. It's not that deep. I don't know how deep you're gonna go on the sewage systems, but I don't know. It's a mess. It was a can of worms when it opened up, and I mean, it's not what anybody here anticipated. You know, and again, I thank you all for helping, and listening, and working with me to get some sort of resolution to this, because as you know, from 14 when I started on complaining on this, I don't know if any of you were even up there, nothing happened. And I finally got somebody to listen, so there's the attaboy, thank you.
I don't think you're gonna eliminate the smell or systems in and people are hooked up, but we can keep it off your property.
So I think it's gonna be important for the options Jamie laid out for you all to tell us what is suitable for you, because this is you have to live in the conditions. I mean, don't you agree? That Mr. and Mrs. Barna, we need to hear from you, and I think the dialogue based on this conversation needs to continue with you and Sean and Jamie on to what you guys see as a fit, so we can take action here.
Down with your boots. Carry too.
I did my time.
Hey Rick, those machines the gas company use to follow gas lines all over, would they work to find that pipe?
And ground, they were saying, the ground radar penetrating stuff, it might fall. We know it's in private property, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And the other problem is if you plug it up, people might be hooked into that somehow.
What I believe the utility companies do, after they put a pipe in, they put a special ribbon that their machines are picking up that ribbon, so.
Well, I had one pick up a metal pipe.
We could use a radar detector and maybe trace it, or a metal detector, I mean.
I use the ground, they're expensive, I've found them with the ground penetrating radar, but that means digging up people's yards.
Sean, I was with you guys one day down there, and then I noticed when I was riding with Albert during the heavy storm, you used it by the corner where the knife was at, that hole, that water was actually coming out.
Right, Rick and I saw that. I wouldn't be surprised if on the other side of the road you have another 30-inch pipe dumping out right there.
Right. I was wondering if they could be connected somehow.
Well, let's circle back on this, let's allow the Barnas to keep in touch with, Jamie and Sean. You know, I still, maybe that's something we can discuss at the workshop too, depending on what the solutions are between the two parties.
I'd like to keep the sewer workshop very well defined and
Okay.
programmed and specific to what's gonna happen with the sewers, what people are gonna expect that way.
You wanna keep the 30?
It will be a little bit of information gathering and give people a chance to tell us anything they know about their property that we might not. That is a good point. We may find people who know something about this pipe that we don't.
Okay, that sounds good, so we'll have it back on the agenda for 2 weeks from now, and we'll get